Hi everybody, Georgian here with today's BCH Ignite vlog. We're talking about inflows, the importance of inflows, the inflows challenge. Yesterday we talked about probably the best source, which is remittances. So today I want to touch on a second source that people repeatedly bring up to me, which is outsourcing or, freelancing, things like that, particularly cross-border freelancing or outsourcing. I think this is a very interesting source. It shares some similarities with remittances. It involves paying people across borders. And with the rise of, freelancing and the gig economy and whatnot, it is definitely something that needs to be on our radar at Bitcoin Cash. But it is not anywhere near as promising as remittances for a couple of reasons. Number one is I checked the 2019 number for outsourcing spending, and it was under 100 billion. It was about 95 billion. So this number is many times smaller than the remittances flow, which is almost 700 billion, and that might be a 2018 number. And remittances have been growing steadily, had been at least growing steadily 10%, 8 to 10% year over year. Whereas outsourcing is a bit of an up and a down kind of thing, 2016, I believe the number was possibly as much as 20% higher than the 2019 number. So it's not as secure or as big of a flow, and I think that the bottom line is that remittances is used to feed people, and educate children and build homes, which are more basic and highly prioritized, more highly prioritized spending items than outsourcing. It's more, it's like in the U.S. economy, housing is supposedly the big driver, because everybody needs a place to live. And so, everybody in the developing world needs to eat in a house and pay for education for their children. And, just globally, or, that's a bigger priority than, the whole freelancing outsourcing thing. Also, there are some specialized services for outsourcing. For example, TransferWise can get you money across borders quite cheaply. Which also brings me to a related point on this whole inflows thing, which is branding. Now, some people would look at and say, oh, TransferWise has that market cornered, they're only charging X percentage of a percentage or whatever. You know what? It's not relevant. It's not relevant. Yeah, we should aim to be cheap, but you know what? There's a reason why Apple is one of the largest and most profitable companies in the world, and it's not because their machines are the cheapest. So we can be the best, and then we can charge a reasonable price that's not the lowest. Everything in life is not reduced to who's the cheapest. There are high-end, low-end, middle-end solutions in many markets. So yeah, that's another source of, so outsourcing is, and another one is just general world trade or cross-border trade, For example, here in Colombia, the numbers I was seeing a few months ago were about 16% of the economy is factories that mainly export. I have personal experience teaching English actually at one of these factories that produces transformers, for electrical grids. And yeah, they were selling to everywhere. They were selling to everywhere. And so those kinds, when you make those kinds of deals today, you need a bank. You need banks to get behind you. And the fees can be prohibitive. And what's even worse are the delays, the timing. because you need to have the capital. You know, like say you're going to bring something from China, you need to have the capital in hand to purchase, you know, your containers of items that you're going to import weeks, maybe months ahead of time before you have the product in hand and can start selling it. That is a major problem because, you know, you become illiquid, you know, in between, you know, successfully placing the order and successfully receiving the products and starting to be able to sell them. And, you know, have a legal opinion here in Colombia from, you know, my lawyer, who is former SEC equivalent for Colombia, that we can use cryptocurrency. You know, it will be a valid form of payment legally for import-export contracts in Colombia. So that's another interesting, that's an interesting area. But the fact is that I don't see how using Bitcoin Cash for that will ever become anything more than just a transport layer. You know, whereas remittances, we're touching many regular people whom we can, you know, it's a consumer level thing. So yeah, so why, you know, I'm just going to finish up. I know one's running a little over 5 minutes, so I just want to finish up and talk about why. Why are we in this? And I would say it is to materially change the world, to adjust the balance of civilization, and to stop excluding people from the opportunities that capitalism and free trade brings. I would say that is the beginnings, just a rough draft of the beginnings of a early abbreviated mission statement. So I'm going to end the vlog here. I'll be back with more vlogs on Monday. You know, check us out at bchignite.com. Get in on the workspace where there's interesting things happening. We are building the future of Bitcoin Cash. It's a business factory. And so thanks for listening. Have a great weekend.